Hey guys, this is the Lenovo Legion 5 gaming laptop, and this is the only gaming laptop I can strongly recommend to people. There's one other option that you should take into consideration, but this is probably the one decent gaming laptop. So, Lenovo is one of the better brands. HP, I have a whole video up, it's got like 7,000 views at this point, on why I don't like HP. I hate that company. I'm probably never going to buy another HP product again. And Dell is okay, but in the end, this is one of the best consumer laptops that you can find at stores. So, let me explain. This device, you can find it for around $1,000, and this is probably the best deal. So, you're getting an i7 10700. I'm not sure which model it is, but it's one of the 10700s. It is a laptop CPU, though, and a 1660 laptop GPU. Or actually, 1660 Ti, my bad. And these two together are a pretty good combo, especially for a laptop. Now, thermal-wise, I think that this is probably the best for a laptop because this does not really get hot or loud. So this, you'll hear the fans sometimes, but here's one of the neat features about this. If you click the FN, or function, and the Q button, it will change modes. So the first mode is to be quiet. So this mode pretty much will just make your computer quiet, so if you want to have a quiet environment, then use this mode. The next mode will put it on auto mode. This will make it auto pretty much, so it's going to control thermals pretty well, and it's going to keep it relatively quiet on auto mode. The last mode is performance mode, and it's as it sounds, it gets better performance. So usually I keep it on auto mode most of the time because I don't really mind fan noise, but if I'm playing a game on this, I'll put it on performance mode, for obvious reasons. So I've tested a couple games on this so far, and it does pretty well. So for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is the main title that I've played on this game, it gets around 120 FPS. For this computer, that's perfect, because this does have a 120 Hertz display. And no, I did not have VSync on, so it was not limiting the FPS. A couple other games that I've played, GTA 5, I think it got around 140 FPS, if I can remember correctly. And those are the main games I've played. I forgot to turn on the FPS counter for a couple other games. But yeah. So, the reason that I really do recommend this laptop to a lot of people is the build quality. This is the keyboard, and it is the single best keyboard in any laptop that I've used. I love typing on this, and if I could, I would genuinely buy one of these keyboards for my desktop. And this keyboard feels amazing. Lenovo started using this keyboard years ago, like probably 9 years ago, maybe, a bit less than that. But, this keyboard has been refined, and it is amazing. It feels great to type on, like, just typing on it in general. It has a great sound, great feel. The keys themselves feel amazing. Some people don't like this design of the key, where it's kind of rounded at the bottom, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't really particularly like it, but it kind of distinguishes it from other laptops, which is something hard to do nowadays. Now, for the trackpad, this is okay. It's always going to be a Windows laptop trackpad, but if you're just using it for, web browsing, this is fine. If you're going to be playing any games, you would, most likely be using an actual mouse, and for that, it has a bunch of USB ports. So let's go over these. I'm going to close this laptop, so you can see I'm going to unplug it from power, and we're going to check out the sides and the back. So, on the left side, we have a headphone jack and a USB Type-A port. I think this is actually a USB 3.0 port, so that's good. That's the only ports on this side. We also have a vent, which, yes, this does have great thermals. I think I said that. I'm going to move this cable out of the way. On the back, we have our Gigabit Ethernet jack. this is good because most people who are going to be buying this are likely going to be taking this places and connecting it to Ethernet in different places. A USB-C port, this is not Thunderbolt, I believe, but I'm not sure if I read that on the AMD version or not. 2 more USB ports. So yeah, if you need to connect more stuff, then you always can on the back. An HDMI port, good for connecting this to monitors and stuff, you know, like that one. The dedicated charger port, something that I wish a lot more laptops had. By the way, the USB-C port does not charge the computer, so you can't plug in like a MacBook charger. But, this is one of the best chargers too. It is reversible, so I'm going to show you that. This is kind of hard to plug in. Yep, that way it goes in. The other way, it goes in. There's a little light right here. I think that when this was at like 20%, the light was red, and now it's white. And we do have a Kensington lock port, which, you know, for some people that's good. We have some more vents, which is always good to see ventilation on a laptop, especially these days. And on the right side, we see another USB port. I think this is a power light and our reset button. So the reset button, I think, puts you into BIOS mode, or something like that. So let's talk about the back. I don't want to put this down on this table, because this table could scratch it, but we have a good amount of ventilation back here, and yeah, some stickers, and that's pretty much it. One of the cool things about this laptop is, even though it only comes with about 512 gigabytes of storage on an NVMe, I believe, SSD, some sort of an M2 SSD, it still has a SATA drive slot, and if you remove that SATA drive slot, there's an M2 slot underneath it. So, for me, I decided that I was going to upgrade it, and if I go to this PC, you can see I put my old 1TB SSD from my Alienware in, for my games drive, and I also have my Windows SSD, which comes with this computer from stock. It's an NVMe drive, I believe, as I said. Something of the M2 form factor. It has 512 gigabytes. So, I don't think this is enough for the average person, but it really depends. So, as you see, I put a good amount of games on this, and I accidentally opened this. Nope, I don't want to open that. Okay, so yeah, these are pretty much all the games I've put on this, and they've ran pretty well. As I said earlier, I've not tested all of them yet, but I'm gonna end up testing them. So yeah, this display, as I mentioned earlier, was 120 Hz. Amazing display. For a laptop, this has little ghost. On mine, I don't really see any. This has, a decent webcam up at the top. Not the best, not the worst. But what I do like about this is it does have this webcam cover, right there. The display flex, from what I've saw from other people's videos, is pretty bad, but not as bad as HP computers and Dell computers. But the bezel is relatively thin, so I'm going to compare this to an iPhone 12 Pro bezel, since a lot of people probably have this device. As you see, the Lenovo's bezel is obviously bigger, but still, this is a bigger display, being a 15-inch display. A couple other notable things I want to say about this: it does have Wi-Fi 6. I love that. One of my complaints on the Surface Pro X was the lack of Wi-Fi 6. So I just accidentally revealed my IP back there, but if you go into Task Manager, it has an Intel Wi-Fi 6 card. Some people have actually managed to upgrade this to a Wi-Fi 6E by adding a new Wi-Fi card to the computer, which you can do. But yeah. So as for battery, the next thing, a lot of people will be disappointed by this, but back when I had my Dell G5 SE for about a month period in September, that computer lasted about 2 hours watching YouTube videos, and the power brick was huge on that, and it used a barrel type connector. On this, I can easily get around 3 to 4 hours watching YouTube videos, and as I bought this computer for mainly school, that's, you know, decent for, you know, being on it doing school all day. And from the day that I've tested, it worked fine. Now, while you're gaming, you're gonna want to plug it in. And yes, I did buy this for gaming too, because, yeah. But yeah, pretty much battery life is not the best. But you can upgrade the battery. You can buy an extended battery. I'm not exactly sure how this works, though. I think that you might have to take out the hard drive bay, which obviously I can't do, unless I upgrade that M2, which I'm not planning on doing. But yeah, so that's for the main part, the review. A couple other things I want to mention. Speakers are okay. They'll get you by, but they're nothing too good. Of course, you can always, use your headphones, and this does have Bluetooth too. Of course it does. Even though I haven't really used Bluetooth on this computer. But yeah. So, other things are, I'm not sure how this battery will age, since I know that some Windows computers have bad aging with batteries, but from what I've saw, Lenovo batteries seem to last okay. There is Lenovo Software, which is okay. It's pretty much like any other pre-built software. A couple, minor things is these arrow keys are way too big for my liking, as you see. I don't know why they're that big, but yeah. This trackpad is good, but it's a bit small. That doesn't really affect me, but I know that some people really like a big trackpad. Here it is next to my iPhone 12 Pro. So, yeah, I think you can contrast that. Yeah, so pretty much it's about that big. And, yeah, it's a good trackpad otherwise, and yeah. So, yeah, this is for the budget. If you're in a $1,000 budget, or around that, it's really good. And let me tell you the main downfall of this. 8 gigabytes of RAM, but you can upgrade it. I've saw people go up to 64 gigabytes of RAM on this, and yeah. Add another 8 gigabytes, and you will be totally fine. Going up to 16, you'll be fine. And yeah, this computer, really good when upgraded the RAM, or I'm going to eventually, but right now, not yet. But, yeah, with 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's gotten me far, it's gotten me by, but I wouldn't recommend keeping it at 8 gigabytes. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, a like would be appreciated since this is, a pretty in-depth review. But yeah, goodbye.